Woolacombe Bay was brilliant because I was doing 6-7 minute kilometres, which was awesome, flying across there, but I could see the impending doom that was in front of me, which was the wall of water, of white water, of Woolacombe Headland there. So firing into that one, going quite fast, really had to pick my spot. I think some photos are going out about it, but as I'm getting closer, the 100 metres or so in front of it just calmed right down, which is the calm before the storm. Picked my spot, and that just literally firing through a wall of water. So that was cool. To get out of the southwest was a big mind step for me, just because I know the southwest. So to get out of Wales, to get into Wales out of the southwest, was a big step forward and a milestone for me. So really happy with that. Getting across, it's not a great experience. It's hardcore, you know, paddling across an estuary that is the best part of 60 kilometres, because you can't stop. Because of the way the tides work, you've just got to paddle non-stop. And it was just really interesting that we've had a good 12 days where we haven't been able to paddle in the last month. But it's interesting talking to different people that yesterday was the only day in the last month that we could have done that crossing safely. So regardless of the days we've paddled or the days we haven't paddled, yesterday was the only day, and yesterday was the day that we got there. Unbelievably blessed. So just great to be over to Wales. And then I actually thought today's paddle, I was really looking forward to it. From Rosslyn to Tenby, I thought that's going to be a really lovely paddle. It wasn't. It was a 33k slog across a bay which is full of tidal currents with a side-on chop. It really was not for the faint-hearted. But I'm here and I'm in Tenby, which again is another milestone, and I'm really looking forward over the next couple of days to go around the edge of Wales and start going up country, to start heading north. So super pleased to hear the way it's going, and you know, rock on. Hoping to be back in England in 10 days or so, something like that. Let's see, let's just fingers crossed for the weather. So I love answering your questions, and I actually had a whole load of questions here from Mr. Detman, who is a form tutor at Torquay Boys Grammar School for his Year 8 class, and they sent some great questions. I love questions from lads, especially because they get straight to the point about the worst experience and did you die and all this sort of stuff. So some great questions here. Question number one: what was the most dangerous conditions you've ever paddled in, and did you fear for your life? There have been some paddles where if you're paddling and your knees hit your chest because your board is doing that, you know that it's pretty much time to get out of it. And whilst I've been paddling, I've actually been thinking, like I've got my chart for the wind, I'm actually going to make a chart for the conditions, from super flat and dreamy to mental bonkers. So yeah, there's been a couple of times where my knees have hit my chest and I thought, it's time to get out of here. And once I had to use an escape route to do that, and once I just kind of paddled through it for another 20 minutes or so, and then it was the end of the paddle anyway. So a couple of times where the conditions change, normally because of the wind and the tide that rock it up a bit. Wildlife. I had a great wildlife experience today. So up until yesterday, I hadn't seen any dolphins or porpoise. Yesterday I saw loads, just swimming around, doing their thing, feeding, but loads. Not particularly close in the distance, but close enough. Today I had two experiences with porpoises. I think they're porpoises rather than dolphins because they're quite small. One just jumped in front of me, probably about 100 meters, which was like, wow. But the real experience was about 2 or 3 kilometers coming into Tenby. I turned, so my wind was on my back. It was quite choppy, quite swelly, and a dolphin jumped right next to me. And I mean, my peripheral vision, I thought I was under attack from something flying through the air. And then it just landed in the water, and then you think, that was a dolphin. Please say that was a dolphin. Yes, it was a dolphin. but just when you can see their eyes, you know just how blessed you are to see them that close up. So that was cool. Let's go for just a couple more. Motivation, least amount of motivation on the trip, and how do I keep motivated? I'm a very positive person. You may or may not guess that, and I know this sounds a little bit strange, but I don't think in negative thoughts like that, so it doesn't cross my mind to think that I'm not. I've got a joyous thing that I'm doing. I'm getting to paddle every day, maybe not in the best conditions, but I get to paddle every day. So as long as I'm safe, then do you know what, that's a joyous thing. So that keeps me motivated, as well as my end goal, which is to create this app for water safety for children, to support these charities and just raise awareness for water. And trust me, that really does keep me going and motivated. Let's go with one more question. Please, could you tell us about your paddleboard? My paddleboard is a SICK, so it says SIC 14-foot bullet, 30 inches wide, and it is a sweet board. It's a sweet board because of the way, I find it super stable, but still I can get 6-minute K out of it, so it's a fast board. I love the way it doesn't purl, so that means it doesn't dig in and try and submerge in the wave or the chop. Today was a great example of this board working really well, whereas I had 2 to 3 foot side-on chop that it rides up and rides down, rides up and rides down. So it's quite technical riding for a long time. It takes a lot out of your legs, but it's a board that just does that with ease, whereas so many other boards would dig in at the wrong place and just throw you off. This is so smooth in the way that it does that. So it makes my life a lot easier, hence why I chose the SICK bullet. It's a good looking board as well, and also it carries a little bit of equipment at the front and a little bit of equipment at the back at ease. It doesn't affect the ride that much at all, which again is really important in a quality sort of touring expedition board that I've got. So keep those questions coming. 8B, thank you for those questions, really appreciate it. Thank you as always to our sponsors. I love the fact that we are sponsored by Woolens through the Southwest, and now we're into Wales with a whole load of new sponsors, and it's so exciting that, for example, Tenby tonight we're being sponsored by Siemens. So that's just a massive thank you to those guys, and all the support that you will all give in, sponsors and just the general public. Thank you, and take care of yourself.